Sippers, welcome to this episode of the Tea With Me podcast with me, Shane Todd. We're sponsored as always by Thompson's Tea. Thompsons are the crew, I don't know if they call themselves a crew, they're a gang behind Punjana. Punjana is Northern Ireland's #1 selling tea, and you know they're doing something right with that accolade because you know we drink a lot of tea in this part of the world. And Punjana are literally the #1, which means PG Tips, Tetley, what other ones are there? Anyone?
Well, Lions.
Lions? Yeah. Jog on, you pricks. It's Punjana or nothing, you know? It's a jungle out there in the tea game, and it just happens that the Thompson's Tea family are the big cats, are the lions. Not Lions Tea, that's very confusing. I just mean they dominate the tea game here. You know, the Thompson family have been making tea since the 1800s, which is insane. It's insane that no one else in the family was like, let me try something else here. You just go down that tea route if you're a Thompson. And I don't have anything to like direct you towards apart from just say, like, you know, drink Punjana tea. If you're out and about, go and get it. You're already doing it probably, but there's no discount code or anything like that. But do use one, and just go into. There's no discount code, but go into your local shop, buy Punjana tea, and then just wink at the person and say, Todd sent me. Then they're not going to give money off or anything, but just let them know. Just let them know. Punjana, all the rest can do one. We're also sponsored. We've got a new sponsor today. I'm very excited about this one because if you're a real diehard fan of the podcast, you remember one of the first episodes was episode 3 or 4, episode 2 or 3. We had Stephen Watson on, live from Windsor Park here, Glentoran 3, Linfield 2. Stephen Watson, complete gentleman. Real fun episode of the podcast with him, and we talked about organ donation for quite a bit because he has been the recipient of an organ. So we talked about that and awareness around it. Obviously in like a lighthearted, funny way. You know, it wasn't like an intense discussion. But we are being sponsored today by that very thing. We're talking organ donation. A 2-minute chat can save lives. You know, and I think that's nothing really. You know, take 2 minutes to chat. Because we chat anyway, especially on this podcast. God knows that's all we do. We just chat. But you can literally save lives. By signing the organ donor register and having a chat with people close to you, it means that you can give the gift of life to up to 9 people. I think if I could give the gift of life to one person, that'd be class. But imagine 9 people coming up to you and being like, mate, cheers for the gift of life. You'd be buzzing. You'd be absolutely buzzing if you heard that. Your family will always be asked for their support. Your family will always be asked for their support for organ donation to go ahead, even if you're on the organ donor register. So even if you've signed up to it, it's still not enough. That's why having a chat with them and letting them know your decision is so important. You know, if you're someone who's like, take them. Here's me, take them. Unlike my auntie Sandra, who I was just saying earlier, was like, I would give everything bar my eyes, which I thought was weird because she's like, if there's an afterlife, I want to be able to see. Because by that logic, you know, you would need everything else. You would need, like, I'm pretty sure if they're giving you all new organs anyway, they'll probably have a pair of eyes knocking about. So what I'm saying is, if you're signing up, just give it everything. 9 people you can give the gift of life to. That's class. Organ donation and transplantation saves and transforms thousands of lives every year for patients awaiting a transplant, as well as their family and friends. I mean, waiting for anything is annoying. Waiting for an Amazon package that, even though it's on Prime, it's still going to be 2 days, is very annoying. So to have to wait years for something that's obviously a million times more important is terrible. So this, what you can do, you just have a chat with your family and you go, here, take it all. There are 115 people in the transplant waiting list in Northern Ireland, and each year 10 to 15 of those people die awaiting their organ transplant and their gift of life. Organ Donation Week, that's what we're talking about. Takes place in 2 weeks' time. It's running from Monday the 20th to Sunday the 26th of September. Follow, and we'll put the link in here, won't we, Dan? Yes, we will. Organ Donation NI. Dan, anything ever happens to me, you can have my organs. Only if you're on the list, right? You're not getting any specialized. If you're on the list, I'll give you the gift of life. Will you give me the gift of life?
Okay.
Yes. Follow Organ Donation on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Stay up to date with what's happening and to hear inspirational stories about organ donation. Now, my guest today is a guy who, if he needed anything, I would be more than happy to provide him with it. And honestly, can I just say this? Honestly, Kieran Bartlett's my guest. Honestly, if you need, I'm not joking, right? No, straight face. If you needed a kidney, I'd give you one if I was a match. What do you think of that?
If I was a match, I would give you a kidney for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, although Bartlett's do have a history of needing 3 or 4 kidneys to make it past 50. So,
Can I just say, we would do that for each other, but then we'd both be arguing over who does the material about it. You know what I mean? Like, who gets to do the show?
don't stitch me up. Yeah.
You know?
What the fuck?
Fuck, I wanted that title.
I was just sitting here. I was just sitting here listening to that, going like, I have so many questions. So like,
Well, I have a question for you. Were you serious earlier before I did this when I went, we're doing like an organ donation read here, and you went, what, like, imitate a piano? And I, as a joke, went, yeah, and you went, really?
yeah, no,
That's beyond mental.
it was
that you
because
said
I
that.
went organ donation. I was like, that's not like a business. Do you know what I mean? So I was like,
Not
well,
yet.
you know, you know, like,
Who has one just knocking about?
yes, you know what I mean? And then I was just thinking though about organs and stuff, because like, I think, you know, I was sitting here, all I could think of was, you know, I'll give everything except my heart because it belongs to the theatre. You know what I mean? But it's just like, it's all I could think. Do you ever hear people that say theatre like that?
Yeah.
How long have you been working in theatre? What?
It doesn't work in Northern Ireland. Joke, does it?
I love when they say it. How long have you been working in theatre? I'm like, I think I did a pantomime in the Balmoral Hotel mate, so I haven't worked in theatre either.
Do you know what's so, like, the theatre scene here? I remember going to a meeting in the Lyric one afternoon to be asked to be in a play that I didn't do. And it sounded shit.
Do you know what I love about that though? Sorry, just is that there'll be people like, you know, who have like gone and done like 4 years acting training, dying to do it, and you're just like, fuck off.
Yeah, but can I tell you why? Can I tell you why I said fuck off? Because this guy met this pretty well. Like, I'm sure if you're in that game, like, I do not come from a theatre background, right? But this guy goes, mate. He didn't say mate. You know, he's like, darling, would love you to be in this play. He said, there's a role that's perfect for you. And I said, okay. He's like, tell me more about it. He goes, it's a musical number. He goes, no, he didn't say that at the start. He went, will you come down and meet us? And I said, yeah, just tell me more about it though. You know, because I'm gonna have to go meet someone. But I don't have to go meet someone.
Yeah.
And he said, he goes, it's this, and I can't tell you what it is because then you'll know what the play is. You'll look up the producer, you'll message him, you know, and he'll come to my door in a turtleneck and mimic stabbing me, just with mime.
Yeah.
But he goes, yeah, come down and just give us come down. We'll have a meet, we'll have a coffee. Give us a song and a dance. And I said, huh? He went, yeah, we'll have a coffee and then we'll use one of the spaces that you can give us a you know, just quick song and a dance. And I was like, I don't give anyone a song. I'm not giving you a song. Who the fuck do you think I am? I was like, I can't sing or dance. Now, in reality, if I'm blocked, I can sing Walking in Memphis really well. And also, I can dance, but I won't. You know what I mean? Like, I can, but I won't. So I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And he goes, it's fine, just quick song. He kept saying, quick song and a dance. And I was like, I don't do song and a dance.
What was the show though? Like, was it an original... Like, or like, were they asking you to come down and be in like Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, or was it like come down and be in this thing that somebody from Belfast has written?
I think so.
Oh God, it's gonna be like.
I think so. And I saw then part of me was like, would that be fun? And the other thing I got offered was not this story, was A Night in November. Got asked to do that.
Sure.
But and I was like, Martin Lynch.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sounds like good crack. And they were like, okay, it's 4 months rehearsal. And I was like, no.
Yeah,
no. I could, you know, give me a couple of days and then I'll try it, but I'm not gonna
see the amount of rehearsal that goes into even doing like a panto. Like, it's
but I
mental.
could in my head withstand just being able to just go and do stand up. I couldn't spend that long
doing. I'd say this.
Doing it, but
see,
not
doing
doing
the same shit night after night. It's fucking excruciating.
Yeah.
Like I did that sort of adult panto a few years ago.
Like
and,
porn?
No, yeah. He's behind you. And it was.
When you come, ooh.
Did you come? Oh no, I didn't. Mate,
Jack and the flicking your beanstalk.
trying to get a lad in, right? Mate, it was fucking rare, right? I tell
Blew
you
out.
what, I had a fucking great time doing the
Adult.
doing the adult
Kieran
panto.
Bartlett and adult.
That's what it was called, Kieran Bartlett adult panto, and it was actually like I had a great time with like the other like
Can I just say,
what.
you know, like the two guys in the donkey, there's a third and it's a centipede. It's just straight up and there's no outer layer to it.
The other people that were in it, there was a couple of comedians and some actors, and like we had a fucking great time, right? And the crack was always good, but and there was a few crew on it as well, and a great director, or whatever. So I felt like we were a good wee unit.
You're
But
setting
then
something up here.
They brought in like so. One of the things it was that there was gonna be like some bit like a bit of a light show and like stuff that was gonna be on like projected on a screen to show like some passage of time, and it was a Christmas Carol type of thing.
Where was this? Balmoral Hotel?
It was some was in mate we did like it was in the Balmoral Hotel,
I can picture the light show.
Strand Arts Centre, and I think we did a couple in the Lamberg. Right?
What was the budget for the light show? Just the light specifically?
Well, yeah, it was one guy with like a couple of bulbs giving it right. Made no, the light. It was like a lights thing, and there was like stuff going on a screen that was supposed to be like when when the ghosts were sort of traveling through like with Scrooge or whatever, right? The Scrooge character that I was playing, who was a woman anyway.
Classic.
I know. Adult panto and Kieran Bartlett as a woman, and so
Scrooge, SCREW.
it's a wonder it hasn't been revived. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? And we, like, the first night was in Strand Arts, like the cinema, right? And the guy who was in charge. So we'd been rehearsing flat out, and it was for a few weeks, and it was fucking dead on, and we're ready to go, and then it was like, and now we're gonna bring in all the light stuff, and we just do what we've been doing. It'll be in the background. And there was a guy that was in charge of that who was dressed like fucking Vigo the Carpathian from Ghostbusters 2, the guy in the painting.
Yeah.
Dressed like that, like all leathers. And, was an ignorant bastard. It was like, "Hey mate," and he was like, right, and you're like,
As hold on, he was as what? What was his role?
he was the guy that was doing all the lights, and he was in charge of all
he's
the
just the
technical
light
shit.
guy?
The lights and screen guy.
Right.
Tech guy.
Right. Who shows up in a full leather outfit?
Ball bag, mate, yeah, and but he was like, like when you sit around at these things, like, people talk shit and give you their stories from like, like other shows they've worked on and whatever.
That's what this podcast is.
Exactly, but like, for instance, when we were sitting doing Thick As and we're doing around that table read, we've got like Ian Beattie there's giving us fucking Games of Thrones stories and
Jared Leto.
yeah,
He fell out with Jared Leto.
yeah, or like he's gonna be,
He fell out with Jared Leto. I was like, Mary McFadden told me to fuck off once. Can't compete.
Yeah, you can't compete with Ian, like, because he's like, oh, there was a time I was gonna fucking smack Oliver Stone, and I'm like, I have one of his DVDs, Ian. You know what I mean?
I saw Michael Stone on the Stanley once, bro. And I wasn't even him.
Ian's such a fucking hero, and like even like Tracy Lynch was in it as well. He's fucking like work with Kenneth Branagh. You're just like going, he's
Just sitting looking at us.
I know, right? We're like, oh, I did 5 in the Pav last week, right? And this guy then, like, so we had all exhausted all our stories because we've been rehearsing for like 5 weeks or something, and this guy comes in. And Paddy McDonald tried to get a bit of banter out of him.
Not like Paddy.
I know, and he told this fucking story about like going, I don't know, like fucking parachuting with U2 or something.
Paddy McDonald went parachuting.
I know, this ball bag, and mate, I hated the guy, I just didn't like him. And
To be fair to him, decent story to whip out of the locker, parachuting with you too.
Great story, but I'm also looking at him going, why are you dressed like fucking Indiana Jones is going to be in this panto, right? And he was rare as fuck, and then and just he was really rude. And it was like, don't like you.
Yeah.
I'll forgive all this if you're fucking good at your. I'll forgive all this if you're remotely competent, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sort of going, fuck, I don't know. Like this is, been doing it for 4 or 5 weeks. It's sort of first night, and you're sort of going, really hope this doesn't die on its hole. I feel like there's definite guaranteed laughs at certain parts of this, but I'm worried about other parts of it and whatever, whether or not people pick it up and all this. And on the first night, you get there and it's like an hour before the doors open, and we've been in all day doing like a tech setup and all, and they sent us away for dinner, come home, and then go back out. And about an hour before the show, and you get in, none of the mics are working, the screen's not working, fucking lights aren't working. I'm like,
And by the way, opening night is when, like, if you want to say important people.
yeah,
come.
people are there, like people are there
Industry.
to review it. Industry people are there to review it. The guy who wrote it, Stephen Large, is sitting there. It's his creation, like, and he's got his family, his mates there, and you're sort of sitting there going, "Here, Stephen, we've absolutely rid the fuck out of your script because this guy's a dickhead." It was brutal, and nothing worked. And they were like, it was late starting by like 40 minutes, and it still wasn't working. It was like, just go out, do the first half without microphones. I'm like, why okay? Because it's in a cinema. It's not like there's loads of soft furnishing. It's just gonna absorb all that sound in the front row. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and you're yelling everything, and the screen had like narration by Julian Simmons and all, and Julian was meant to be on the screen.
Right.
They just had the audio, and you're going, this is fucking. Mate,
Don't you, I'm okay with the mics working, but the second you deny me Julian's face,
I know, yeah, exactly,
I
right?
leave, like.
What a hero, like. And mate, I swear to God, I wanted that fucker dead, right? Not Julian, the Vigo guy, and won't tell you his name, Connell, anyway. Wanker. And,
There's probably not that many people in Northern Ireland.
Conleth.
There's probably not that many people in Northern Ireland that are like light guys that wear leather. You know what I mean? So so people will know who he is.
A terrible man, and he
But
did.
Connell, if you're listening, Conleth,
Yeah.
send the organ donation register.
Yeah, fucking give your liver away now. And,
He might.
Mate, it was so bad. Like, I swear to God, I remember coming outside at the end of the night.
Is that how the adult pan
The
finished?
director came over to me at the end, right, and literally gave me a hug and went, "Thank you for doing that." And I went, "I'll see you tomorrow, mate. I hope it's working."
Like you'd done UNICEF work?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I I just fucking passed the last fucking old dog onto the Afghan plane for Penn Farthing. Is anybody going to talk about his fucking name? His name is Penn,
I
like
don't know who
Penny
he is.
Farthing.
Who is he?
The guy that, or whatever, the guy that owns all them fucking dogs and cats that the fucking are lifted out of Afghanistan. Has nobody seen this story? Isn't that his name? An ex-Marine, Penn Farthing. I'm like, okay, my name's Thruppeny Bit. Fuck off, like, it's not even a name. Anyway,
I
he's
think-
named after an old bike.
Can I say something? I think you're taking a little bit of the anger towards Penn Farthing. You're taking
McConaughey anger is being,
Conleth.
yeah, probably. But anyway, I mean, well, no, I'm not gonna say it anyway.
Say it. Say
I was just gonna say, like, if I was passing Conleth's dogs on the plane, like, I'd be drop kicking them onto it anyway.
No,
So,
that's
I
not.
know. See, this is, you get
That's
people.
bad.
Don't fuck with cats. You know what I mean? The cats can do whatever. I'm allergic to them anyway. We fuckers anyway. So
Right.
I came outside that night, and I remember getting into the car to go home, and I said to Chloe, I was like, I think I'm done. I think I'm actually done performing of any kind. I was
Right.
like, Chloe, I'm going to have to, deny the world my gift. I was literally like, I fucking hate stage, right? And then we came in the next day, and everything was working. Apparently, your man got a full bollocking afterwards.
Yeah.
And everything was working for the second night, but he didn't apologize. I'm waiting on that.
You'll get it after this, I'd say.
I don't think I'd be able to fucking donate my liver to anybody that wanted it because it's so soaked with bile for that guy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, here's what we need to do: get you two to come on the podcast, have a face to face, and then after that, we can give that. You're going to give your liver away on Patreon.
Kieran I'm starting a new podcast called Kieran Bartlett Adult Panto Stories.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Join.
I'm trying to think
Join
of
me.
one more. And the
I know what else is there in Panto speak?
Sleeping Beauty. Could we get something out of that?
Sleeping Booty. Sleep in booty. I love when people say
That's what I
stuff
had to do
about-
in my car for a year.
when
Sleep in the
people
booty.
when people say like that, you know, old fairy tales like that are all like, you know, when they start getting like
theories on them.
they've done like A-level English and they start going Sleeping Beauty. Do you think that's really about her falling asleep? Probably. You know what I mean? Snow White. Is that really about Seven Dwarfs? I assume so. Like,
Is
I mean,
the Three Hungry Bears about porridge?
Yeah.
Or is it about Brexit? Come on.
Little Red Riding Hood walking past all those peaks going into the forest. What do you think that represents? Mountains. Like, I'm not on that level. I hate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can I tell you an audition story?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've already told you this.
Only if it's for theatre.
It was for TV, darling. It's for TV, darling. I was.
for telly.
I was
Was doing an audition to be on the box, you know, on the old.
don't. I don't do a lot of it. The box. Different game. I like to see eyes. But speaking of eyes, organ donation register, links in the bio.
Can you actually give your eyes
100%.
an eye transplant?
Yeah, you corneas, I think. Yeah.
So does that mean somebody sees out of your eyes?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be amazing?
Can I just say, don't ask me a lot more questions about it because I might not know.
Well,
I'm like saying to you, I'm like making this happen. I'm like,
wouldn't
yeah.
it actually be amazing though, if it wasn't just like a physical thing, you know, like of I now have sight, but they actually saw the world the way you see it.
I don't think anyone needs to see the world the way you see
You
it.
know what I mean? Like, you know, so somebody who's maybe been like totally normal gets my eyes, and instead of like going into like, you know, like a cafe and saying, oh, there's the menu and there's the seats, the winner like, what's the quickest way out of here? And I need to sit with my fucking back to the wall in case somebody comes in shooting. You know, like, you know what I mean? I'm like fucking, I'm like a low rent Jason Bourne. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, at this altitude I can run for 8 meters before I'm like out of breath. You know what I mean? I can run for 2 seconds before I get a stitch. Speaking of stitches, organ donation register.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Sorry,
know-
so your audition story.
So I'm about 6 years old here, okay? And
And you were doing an audition,
I did an audition,
right?
right? Because my cousin owned a modeling agency at the time, and
Right.
they got asked if you like, can we like use you to facilitate this audition? So they got in like sexy kids, right? And it was for a Harry Corey ad, and
You were about to say it was for Harry Potter. It was for Harry.
I could have been the
Corey.
original,
Harry Corey and the Philosopher's Curse.
the OG Harry. Harry Corey versus Harry Potter. Yeah, it was for. Imagine I said that to the industry people. I was in an old Harry production. Which one? The one about
Boxing
discount
Day
fabrics.
sale, 1997.
We were putting a spell on discount, but so there was like 250. I'd never done any drama, even in school, like nothing like that. I'd expressed no interest in it, and but my cousin said to my mum, "Would she want to do this? He's the right age for it. The kid's a dime piece." And so I was like, "Yeah, I'll maybe go do it." I didn't know what it was, an ad to be on TV. So I went down to do it. It was about 250 kids all my age. And by the way, they were fucking nightmares. And I can still remember, like, 200 kids in a room at the age of 5 or 6 is a melt. But when they're drama kids,
Yeah.
no.
Show children.
Oh,
yeah.
no, So anyway, the director briefs everyone. And this guy is stressed because he's been working with kids all
Yeah.
day. And the line for the audition, all you got to do is you got to look down the barrel of the lens and say, "We need help. We need Harry."
Class, yeah.
That's it. We need help. We need Harry. Now, I didn't rehearse it. I didn't think about, the linguistic breakdown. I didn't think about, but what are they really trying to say here?
Yeah.
So I go in and do it. The guy's like, "So Shane, he goes, in your own time, go ahead. And you're just looking at the director and the producer. And I said, we need help. We need Harry. And he goes, okay, makes a wee note. As I go to leave with my mum, the guy goes, actually, come this way. And there's me and like 3 other kids. But an hour goes by. It's the end of the day. I'm the last of, say, 4.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, other children.
See you later, 200 melters. Yeah.
See you later. So there's like 3 or 4 of us. They get taken into a room first, one by one. I'm the last one. They leave. They're gone. It's mine. All I need to do is go in and do it one more time. So I go into the room. This like director, he's fucking like sweating. He's like, fuck me, just get me home. Producer, my mum, and I think my cousin who's boss this modelling agency. And the guy goes, Shane, could we hear it one more time? And I'm like, yeah. We need help. We need help. I think I just didn't care about it. So I wasn't like, we need all the other, we need help. We need Harry. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just like, low key.
Yeah.
We need help. Fucking, I don't know. Let's get Harry. You know,
Yeah.
I'm laid back.
Method. Yeah.
We need help. We need Harry. The director goes, brilliant. He says, now, I just have to make sure, and he winks at my mum and goes, you want to do this? Because we have to make sure this is your decision to be in this ad, because it'll be on TV all over the country, and also, you want to do this? And I just went, nah. Probably not. And the guy thought I was like joking. He looked at my mom, he looks at the guy he's with, and he's like, no, but you want to do it, because we've sent everybody else home, and we're going to pick you, you're going to be in the ad. I was like, I don't really want to be in the ad. And I remember them being like, why are you here? I was like, I don't know. My mum said to just come down and say, we need help, we need Harry. I don't think I knew there was an end goal. So they were like, okay. And the guy said in front of me, he goes, to my mum, he goes, you're aware it's £250? I don't give a fuck.
Didn't give a
I
fuck.
was like, double it. I don't care. I'm not taking it. I was like, nah, I just want to go and play with my
Any
mates.
royalty payments after? You know.
I was like, I just want to go and play with my mates, to be honest. So I just left. And they had to go and get other kids back. So if you're the kid that eventually got that, your second choice,
That was the first time you donated, Shane. You know.
I just gave a bit back. It was just a day out for me. I thought it was great. And then I didn't do anything after
Didn't do
that.
any other tieback adverts or anything, or you know.
I don't think I've ever done an advert on TV.
I've never done an advert. I don't think. Yeah.
Would you?
It would depend what it was for. I got asked to do one a while ago.
Would you do one for Denny's? Would you go, oh, bacon, mate? Ooh. that's all the ad is.
I would do.
No brand comes up at the end of it. You just go,
I wouldn't-
oh, bacon.
I do enjoy a bit of bacon. Like,
I know. That's the ad. You got it.
that's it. I do enjoy a bit of bacon. You know, oh mate, there was an ad. I did get asked. I won't say the name of the company, but I got asked to do an ad. Like a few years
Say it.
ago.
I've talked about the fact that me and Dave fucked up a 36 grand spar deal.
I got asked to do one for a drink company here before.
This wouldn't be hard to work out who it is.
I wouldn't do it though because I don't drink.
But what did they want you to do?
Be in an ad, like and
Doing what though?
like drinking and going have a pint, like. And
What did you have to say? Was there a line or anything?
I don't remember. Like
I thought that was going to give it away. I thought you were going to be, I can't say who it is, but all I had to do was say it's our thing. You know?
And I was like,
But you wouldn't do it out of what, moral responsibility because you don't drink?
yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
But you love cash.
I mean, well, this is the thing. Kerry Coyne does love, you know what I mean? I think that day, they called me on a bad day where I'd been out with the magnets and you know what I mean?
it was a slow day with the magnets.
It's just me. I'd been out with the magnets in the morning, collecting them out of all the fountains, and then
The charity fountains. Sorry, for anyone who doesn't know, just to quickly bring you up to speed, Kieran has a team of goblins, and they just take money.
We
really.
put magnets on their feet and go through all the fountains in Belfast, and then sometimes I dress up as a frog and sit in. Just let people put fucking coins into my belly, in like Tesco, and then you know put a wee slot in my head and just sit there like a dog, and then
If you were sitting like that, I'd put money in your head.
woof, and then And then, do you know what was one of the best things that was ever said on this? Was when you said, I look like one of them butchers outside, you know, the big dolls outside the butcher.
You look like the
butcher.
big butcher with the apron on outside the butcher shop.
Oh, I love that. But yeah, I think, you know, it's just me standing with a magnets on a load of gamblers. You know, just fucking stripping pound coins out.
That's why I'm so surprised you would turn
Yeah,
anything
like,
down.
Mate, thank you. I've turned down a few things in my time. That was probably one of the most potentially like actually decent money things I've turned down.
Well, there was that thing me and Dave messed up. Well, not messed up, but
Aye.
just, it fell through. But it could have been. It was going to be unreal.
Yeah. Well, fuck, this wasn't anywhere near that kind of size of a deal. Like, but I mean, I would have.
Right.
I mean, it's stupid. It would be like asking me, well, you can't advertise smoking anymore, but I don't smoke, so it'd be like.
I'd
You
advertise
know,
smoking.
I would smoke like if I was asked to be in a smoking advert, I would like smoke. You know when you see like teenagers having their first smoke and they're holding it weird, like
Yeah.
I don't really know how to do it, or,
I used
they're like that.
Yes, that's. I used to smoke. Like I've maybe had like 10 draws of a cigarette in my entire life, but I used to smoke like a 30s female movie star. You know, I was very,
Yeah,
and I would hold it like honestly about 10 feet away
with
from my
that
body.
long black thing.
Yeah, with just and white gloves. I would put on white gloves. Last draws, guys. Last draws, and then I'd glove up and just.
Do you remember the anti-smoking adverts that they had here? I think they were probably
Who's
they
anti?
they were probably made by the same people that like the DOE, like you know, but
Where did
they were
DOE?
less like in the 90s, and there was one was like a wee girl smoking in a group of mates, and she goes, and all them ones go, and then she goes, "I will learn to inhale." Looks at the camera, even if it kills me. And then there was another one of a guy out in like fucking Woodlands, Gaelic pitch or something, which is like, you know, they just do the lines with hypodermic needles, you know, and he like, you know, he's playing Gaelic by himself, which is such a West Belfast thing to do.
It's not a single person sport, really.
I
is
know,
it?
right? And so
Hurling by himself.
so he's standing around a ball and he like, you know, it's like he catches a ball and turns around and goes, "My mates say I'm a tube for not smoking." Oh, I look in the camera, dead on. And then he hoofs the ball over the bar. And you're like,
He is a fucking tube just playing by himself.
oh, yeah.
Smokes better than that.
My mate say I'm a tube for playing a 15-man sport on my own. Aye, dead on.
Anytime I saw like anti-paramilitary ads back in the day, they just made me want to be in a paramilitary. It
was
fucking class.
action-packed.
Quick cash, gear, mates.
Great music.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
I'll just say, like, no matter what you say about them, like they look like there's solid friendships there.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? These
definitely.
guys are mates for life, and also they're in fucking like class. Like,
Who gives a fuck what happens to your son when you're out blasting bitches? Like, do you know what I mean? Cats in the cradle and a silver spoon.
That's
Little boy, you know
that
what I mean?
ad is so good that it doesn't get the message across.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good.
The production. It's like, mate. It's like we were talking about this. Well, I don't know if we talked about this in the podcast, but you know we definitely talked about it recently. That ad, with the one with Fleetwood Mac. Did we talk about this in the podcast? You
Oh,
know
the
one-
guy's going to go.
He fucking finished. like.
Yeah, it's an anti-drink driving advert, and the
Yeah.
guy at the start is like, it's showing him like he obviously plays football on a Saturday. He has a few pints after the match, and he drives home.
Fleetwood Mac love it, like,
But-
because they're just
But they distract. It's so good because the music, the soundtrack's brilliant, and the goalie. I remember watching the goalie score. He's taken it in the half volley on the turn, top bags,
Smashed
and
it.
he's ran away to the point where the goal's that good that I don't remember anything else. In the
yeah.
ad.
He scores an amazing goal, and you're like, fuck, I want to play
He
football.
goes
now.
over the hedge, and the car flips and like takes a kid out. You know.
I reckon between the two of us, we could probably do a good ad because you could do the finish. I could be sitting going, "Let me tell you about
And then-
my life."
And then I'm just standing beside the wreckage going, "We need help. We need Harry."
Yeah. And then I can come over and go,
And then Harry Potter
said
comes-
it was the curtains right the tie backs that did the damage.
Then Rory Woods comes down as Harry Potter on a broom and sweeps it up. I don't know, but yeah. I'd love to do an ad.
He's playing Quidditch. Going, my mate Sam Tube. He's playing Quidditch by himself for not smoking. Aye. Dead on. Fucking. Hello, more. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Guy playing tennis. My mate saying I'm a tube.
I know.
Oh, I definitely played tennis by myself as a kid at some point, I'm sure.
I remember I remember going on this fucking terrible weekend away with my ma and me. Like, I'm the youngest, but I have four sisters. This is the youngest sister, so she's the closest to me in the family. So my mum's mate, who was at that time, you know, like your auntie.
Can I just say, never met her, don't know who you're talking about, but in my head, liability. Loves a drink.
Oh, I would say she probably does love a drink. I would say though, she was very posh. She was.
Why are you grinding?
I have issues. I move all the time.
Right.
No, it don't look like it. I do though. I have
Just can't stop exercising, bro. Guy's got a band on. Getting those hip thrusters in.
Resistance training, just sitting down. Why are you grinding?
What's your issue? You can't stop moving?
I have like restless legs. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I tend to sit and shake a lot. Facts. Anyway, no, this is. Right. So she was my mum's mate when they went to school in like Ballysillan, right? But what would you say? Like, so she, you know, was one of them. Well, she's forgotten where she's from.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Did your parents smoke? No.
My mum used to years ago.
Did she ever be on the phone, like on the landline?
Smoking? I can't remember.
Right. Well, my mum would have been on the landline smoking, and or would have like left her cigarettes somewhere. And if you were about, she would just like you get pulled in their gravity, and she would just go, which meant, fuck face, go and get me some smokes. Anyway, right. So, anyway, she'd been on the phone. Guess this woman's name.
Sheila?
No, that's my mum's name.
All right. Oh, yeah.
My auntie.
What does it begin with?
G.
Gina?
No.
Geraldine? I can picture her.
Right.
Can I just say, no disrespect her? She has a fat head.
She had like a skinny head but fat hair. Do you know what I mean? Big hair for the 90s. And like they lived like in Newcastle, and they were quite posh, and like they owned shops and all in Newcastle, right? And so it was her daughter, me, my mum, and my sister, and we went away to Rosslare.
Where's that?
Down south, right? It was literally for a few days away. And like down, like it's where you get the boat if you're going from like south of Ireland to France. You go
Right,
from
right.
Rosslare, right?
Slide to take you to a place where you could go on to somewhere class.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Right?
It's like going on holiday to the docks.
And I actually didn't want to go because I'm going, this is like, it's like a woman's holiday, like awful. And like, cause they were going, my auntie Charlie, they had a house down there, like a holiday home. And my mum and her and my sister, like they were all going. There was like a big like health club thing there, and they're all going. Now you say to me, go away for a spa break. I'm like, whatever, fucking. I've got my Adidas slides ready, right? Yeah. And that's all they were. And so we went. And my I can't remember why I started talking about this, but my my abiding memory of that fucking trip is I know you said about playing tennis on your own. I have
25 minutes ago.
I have two abiding memories of that trip. Actually, I have three. One, I have four. One was I remember phoning my dad from a payphone and crying for him to come and take me home. Right, I was 19. Right, Daddy, right. I was literally about 7. I didn't want to be there. Right. And I remember then I was playing out in the street with these other weird wee boys, and they had these tiny wee like
you were 19.
Tiny wee transformers. Yeah, they had these tiny wee like transformer type things, but they weren't called transformers. They were
knockoff.
They were knockoff ones. You know, like
changeables.
Yeah, right. Fucking yeah. And
trans changers, something like
that. Yeah, and I realised when I was in the car on the way home that I had one of them in my coat pocket, and I was distraught because someone had previously stolen toys off me. and never gave me, like, and when they gave me them back, they were all broken.
I'm painting a picture of you as a kid. You're crying on your phone to your dad, take me home. Then you realize you've stolen something and you're upset because that reminds you of having stuff stolen from you. Can I just say, we wouldn't have been mates because you sound like a bitch.
Mate,
You sound like a little bitch.
these next two memories, this trip, are only going to make it worse. The third memory is my sister and that wee girl, my cousin, went to the thing on a proper tennis court with a net and all. Now I had played tennis out in the street where we used like a bike thrown down as the net, you know. So like seeing the actual court with a net, and they wouldn't let me play. They made me be the ball boy. I'm still hurt about it.
Right.
And then,
I'd love to see you do that now at Wimbledon.
be a bot mate. Sorry, I'll do my ball boy first. Anyway, so and then the last memory, we got there, right? Like I don't know what you're like when you're hungry. What are you like when you're hungry?
What am I like when I'm hungry?
Yeah,
I'm a nightmare of a person.
I'm a
I'd scratch
right?
someone's eyes out easy.
I'm like, I get pissy, I get tired, right? I get like raging, right? Anyway, I'm quite hungry. There's like a set time in my house for dinner, and any time between 5 and 7, acceptable.
Okay.
You start hitting fucking 8 o'clock. He's not a happy bunny, right?
Yeah.
We're approaching fucking 25 to 9 here.
Is this you or
This is
Gilbert?
in what? Yeah, this is Gilbert, right? Early Gilbert story. Fucking a wee bit of Gilbert DLC for the fans, right? I'm looking at the clock on the wall. It's 25 to 8. There's no sign of dinner.
But on holiday, surely you relax the rules, no?
I don't. I need my Miracle Grow. Like, I need to be fed at this time of my life. Like, I was freaking out, right? 19. And I'm like looking around. There's not even anything that you can go. There's nothing.
You can't
right?
pick at anything.
And mum's looking at us going, like, I don't want to be the one that fucking instigates making dinner in somebody else's house, but this is taking the piss, right? And she sort of goes, you know, what are we doing for dinner? And Auntie Geraldine, fuck her, goes, there's probably like toast. We'll just do toast. And I'm like, no, we will fucking not. I want something, right? I need something, right? I am freaking out. I hear talk of toast, and I'm like, I'm having fucking 8 rounds, right? I'm like, you will give me that loaf, right? I'm going, and mum goes, okay. And so fucking 25 to 8, we've just done a fucking 6-hour drive to be there. I'm like, I need protein. Anyway, so they whip out the toast, and then Auntie Charlene goes, just want jam? And I'm like, anything to add calories, bitch, right? And I remember this like it was yesterday, mate. She whips out this fucking pot of jam that's been in the holiday home since the last time they were down. And she pulls a beard off it. And I mean like a wee blue, like a wee fucking, like a Smurf's pubes coming off the top of this fucking jam and sets it in the middle of the table. And mum looked at me and went,
Yeah.
like that, and I just went, I was like, oh my God, give me a fucking fag, give me something. My mate Sam a tube for not eating fucking hurry jam. Oh, mate, the worst holiday I've ever been on in my fucking life.
That reminds
She was rich. She had a holiday home. She's giving me fucking pube jam. It was disgusting. And we had fucking soft Cheerios the next day. I didn't eat Cheerios again in my life until I was a fucking adult. I couldn't face them. Hate. It's like a wee bowl of goodbyes, isn't it? Cheerios, like Cheerio, you know. I like them. Fucking raging. I'm still angry about that.
The worst one I went on was a Donegal holiday when I was like first, second year at school, and then there was nothing else around. You know, in the Truman Show, when he goes like towards like a mountain or like cliffs, and then there is stuff over the other side. Remember, he like wants to know it's on the other side.
Where, like, yeah, and it's like the studios on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah.
So near where we were, there was like a hill we just couldn't be bothered. We're like, there's there's nothing around. There's gonna be nothing the other side of this hill. We've been there for a week. On the last day, we realised there's a full fun fair on the other side of the hill, walking distance from where we are. And I'm wearing, because I'm I'm fresh playboy, I'm wearing a Hardy Boys t-shirt. Remember the wrestlers, the Hardy Boys? Hardy Boys with a Z, official WWE merchandise. And I'm just strutting around in that. And we go, and I've talked about this guy on the podcast before, there's like a DJ at the fun fair who's like from the local radio station. Not one of the big, just a wee Donegal station. And he's like MCing the waltzers. So he's like got the mic and he's pumping happy hardcore music. Like, I mean, pumping it. But the thing isn't that fast. You know what I mean? It doesn't work with it. Like, what would it be? Like, the chorus would have worked.
Yeah.
Go on, come on, leave me breathless. That would have worked, right? But this guy's blasting out
Scooter.
yeah, take me up, but remixes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where it's like.
So he come on, he's like, right, strap yourselves in, let's go. And then it's going, and then he gets on the mic. It says the sentence. Faster, faster for the master blaster. Do you like hardcore? And everyone's like, yeah, when will this get faster? And it doesn't. And I'm getting off the ride. And some local boy said to me, where did you get your t-shirt? Because like in Donegal, they wouldn't have official WWE merchandise at this time. There was nowhere to get it. And I said...
pre-internet, like?
Yeah, I said, got it on the internet. I think it was WWF back then. I was like, WWF website, WWF.com. And one of the guys went, yeah, it's shit. And I was like, okay, bro. And then I was fucking like, I was mortified because they were older than me. He got me in, and I gave him too much information about it, and then he's like,
it's like when you're humming something or singing something, and somebody goes, "Who sings that?" And you go, "Red Hot Chili Peppers," and they go, "Why'd you let them sing it?"
Let them sing it. Yeah.
You just
Donegal
get ripped
holidays, I hated a bit, but now as an adult, they're the best.
Yeah,
They're not for kids, really.
I'm going up for a day or two, like this weekend.
A day?
A couple of days. I'm taking.
Oh yeah, as long as you go a couple of days.
Oh, that's what I mean. I said a day or two.
Right. Yeah,
Couple of
but you
days.
said a day or two, so a day. I'm not being contrary, but if you say a day or two, that's either one day or two.
Doesn't it?
Right. You're going for a couple of
I'm
days.
not going to go up for a day, look at my watch, and go, "Don't fancy the second one."
But if you say you're going for a day or two, that's what I think you're doing.
Don't even have a watch.
But if you're going for a couple of days, you think you're going for a couple of days. I don't want to do a straw poll here, but I think if you say you're going for a day or two, there's the option there.
I think this is like where you get into it, where you say to somebody, "Give me a few of those," and they give you two, and you're like, "No, a few is
Of what
three.
though? It depends what it is. Gives a few bits of chewing gum. I give you two.
Here's the thing that I know destroys my brother when people say, "Gonna have a few beer."
No, do you know what's?
A few, and then beer.
Do you know what's great too?
What?
When the weather's good, people having, and I quote, a few Magner. Here, catch this S and fire that on you. A few Magner. You taking a few Magner here, bro?
What about last night when we went for a few Nando? The guy, one of the guys that came up with two amazing things happened. One was one of the waitresses came over to give food and goes, "Sweet potato for wedges." And Chloe goes, "Yes, please," because she'd ordered it. And everybody else at the table went and pointed at Chloe. And she just goes, "Oh, they're Dave's," and just handed them to Dave.
Yeah.
And then another amazing moment was a guy came over, a waiter came over. And so the way you have to order at the minute is with the thing with
QR code.
the wee app on the QR thing. So Chloe had ordered for me and her on her phone. And so it was Chloe's the only woman at the table. But he comes over and goes, "I take it you're Chloe," and like hands her stuff. And I'm like, "I'm Chloe."
Yeah.
Like, don't assume anything, mate. I literally laughed and went, "You could get into trouble for that, mate." And he was like,
Yeah.
he hated it hard. He hated the banter. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Mate, you can't assume that shit these
Yeah.
days." Like,
You flip it next time you go and order for like Denzel. And when it arrives, just be like,
this is the shit though. This is like people say these things. It's like, well, we've got married. The amount of people that think that they can have a conversation with you about like, "Oh, so kids then?"
right.
Not really. Why ask me
Yeah,
that? That's like my shit. That's
But that doesn't stop. If you have one, you go, when's the next one?
second one.
You know what I mean? It is weird
Why
to
do
be
people
like.
feel like they can do that? It's also people do this about your weight as well. When you're a fat person,
Do you know what my theory of it of the kids thing is?
What?
If you've had kids, like you go through the long nights, lack of sleep, all that sort of stuff, right? There's obviously like that side of it, as well as being like an amazing side of it. So I think people almost, in a weird way, subconsciously, want you to go through
The shit
the
side.
shit side that they had, so that other people, you know, like if you have a hangover and you're the only person in the group with a hangover, it's so bad. But if everybody has a hangover,
Yeah.
suddenly like it's a bit of fun, and you're like, we're all dying here.
You're doing nothing to make me want kids either.
It's like it's like a year-long hangover.
It's like a hangover with moments of happiness thrown in. So
And you just wanna
I
get
would
other
lit-
people in.
I'd rather like it's like a hangover, but you also go to a drive-through.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be hungover. I'd rather start drinking again. Do you know what I mean?
But I think people want you to experience
The hardship.
the hardship because they did.
Yeah.
They're like, you do it too then, because we did
I
it.
keep wanting
know?
to drop like really harsh response to it.
So you're back gigging last night.
And let's just like straight into another story. So I was doing this adult panto. Fuck's sake.
Right, yeah, we had Nando's, and then you did your first gig in how long?
Right, so it's
You
the
said 9 months, but it's not 9 months.
right, so it's the first gig I did since we did the Christmas ones here. But it's my
yeah.
first gig in front of a crowd
Yeah,
since like the week before lockdown.
which is what, a year and a half?
18 months, yeah.
18 months.
Yeah. Mental.
How because so last night we did
I was
pugs.
shitting myself out.
Everybody was on, big lineup,
Place is
outdoor,
class, outdoor.
place is
boneyard.
packed. So, have you been nervous all week leading up to it, or just on the day you got nervous?
I was sort of like a wee bit nervy, and then I was feeling all right about it. And then obviously I was doing that new bit of music at the end. And sometimes even when like it's like a full rap song with like a full beat that we made and all, and like it's just not really like anything I've ever done live before. So I was freaking out about that. Like when I would do like a new song, even like I'd be going, hope this isn't shit. Hope it works out. Because sometimes when you write,
You committed to it. You can't get out of it.
yeah, and you it's sort of the same as doing a joke, right? Where you going like you have new stuff and you're going, I hope this isn't shit. Because
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
in your head you're going, I think this is funny, and you've maybe run it by one or two people and they're going, yeah, it's all right, or yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
And you go, well, I'll give it a lash. But the difference is when you put the time into doing the song. Like when you come up with a joke, it's fairly quick probably, and then you have ideas and you maybe jot them down or you just think about it and you get it. But you have to do all that with a song, and then you have to write the actual music, make it all fit musically, and then rehearse it loads.
Yeah.
So like if that doesn't work after you've spent all that time, that's a real kick in the balls, right?
Yeah.
So with this rap thing, I was going,
I
This
didn't
is
know
a-
you were going to do. Well, you mentioned doing it, but I thought it was like maybe with guitar, or like I thought it was like a 30-second bit or
no, I
something.
made like a full song.
Then
yeah.
you put the guitar away, and I was like, oh, what's happening here?
Well, I
And
made
finished
like,
with
I
it.
made that the music that was on it. Me and Kev made it like
really good.
so funny with like because I like beats and stuff like that to be semi annoying. You know, like it makes me laugh. Like
Right.
and especially because the theme of the song is like being like a tramp and being hungover and stuff and all that. So like I sat with a wee keyboard and did like really like simple music stuff, but it's quite catchy and annoying.
Right.
And it was just really funny making it. But then, like musically, to me, it's probably more complex than it might seem. But it's just really like I find humor in that in the geekiness of the music, of the theory of the music in it, where
Right.
it's just
It's,
like
it's a real fun beat.
yeah, you know, you've got like a nice sort of boom, psh, ba-da-ga-dum, psh. You've got that, and then you've got like, you know, just like a wee thing going dum 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 dum, and then you've got something else going dum 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 over the
Yeah.
top. So it's fucking really annoying, but it's funny anyway. So like I was shitting myself more about that, and I was thinking like I hope I don't fuck up these lyrics because there's loads of them, and like I was rehearsing it yesterday, but I mean rehearsing it, you're sitting with your phone listening to it, going, you know what I mean? So different performing it
Yeah,
live.
yeah.
And so shit myself about that. And then I thought overall the gig was great. There was an annoying table down to the left. Everybody down that way and down the middle was like just like that. And then these ones were fucking melting me.
Do you want to know me about it? I mean, I went on I was on first. Well, Dave was emceeing,
Yeah.
but I was on first. So it was like at that point they wanted to. Here's the thing: some of these people heckle because they don't know. They don't know that you don't do that, and they go to a comedy show and they think this is interactive. Like
Yeah.
they have a microphone, but we can still talk. And then you sort of like you put them right, or you cut them down a bit, have a bit of fun with them, and they know kind of like,
Yeah.
all right, I get it. Because a lot of times, right, you're like, hey, fuck up, and people are like, okay, like they go, all right, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But that table of guys last night wanted to be the stars of the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. They were melted.
Like it was like they didn't know each other, and that was their shared interest, and they were like, let's go to this comedy night, see if we can like be part of this.
Yeah.
And it was just odd because they were like jumping in on a lot of bits and getting like massacred, or
yeah.
like, you know, or like I had a bit of back and forth with one guy, and like after that, what part of you would not go, oh right,
Let's
maybe
just
I
watch
should
this. Just watch
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I didn't
I
get it.
listen, I don't even mind. I don't even mind. Like, I don't mind being heckled, right? And
Same.
I don't. I really don't even mind if it's coming from the same part of the room. Say, as maybe they've heckled somebody else or whatever. But see, when they heckle you, you literally, like, I literally ruined. I think there was 5 or 6 people sitting there. I ruined 3 of them. Especially the guy who wouldn't fuck up. There was one guy who would not fuck up. Ruined him a couple of times. I'm going, mate, at this point, can you just fuck up and let me
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
do these jokes? Because then for me, like, it becomes definitely a distraction. Because when I'm in the audience and somebody's heckling, I want to see the comedian stamp on them. But then there does come a point where it's like, well, now they're not doing jokes, they're just talking to that person.
Yeah, and
And I
90,
hate getting into that with somebody then, as the comedian. I hate getting into
yeah,
that. you
like
know?
99% of audience members are so sound that they then get into this thing where they're nervous.
Yeah.
So they're looking at those guys being like, oh, please shut up, please shut up. Like, I hope they don't keep talking.
Yeah.
So then there's just like a energy. I think I was okay because I was on kind of early. But as it went on, it's like, fuck, what do you want out of this?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do you want? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed a bit of a back and forth, but I would prefer to be doing material.
Yeah,
Or if it's crowd, like there was a guy in the front who I was
Yeah,
doing a
yeah.
bit of crowd work with, but we went to him as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, and he also, he wasn't trying. He was
speaking when spoke to.
He was doing what you want.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
He got it.
But then there were one of the guys was going to come up after, and like I'm sure they fucking sound like normally, but then the guy was wanting to come up after to like have a chat, and I was like, well, I don't really want to do.
No,
you know
no,
what I mean?
that happened with me as well. Now I ended up chatting to one of them, and he was actually dead on. It turns out
That's
he
why
knows
it doesn't
my
make
brother.
sense.
I know, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
he, in fairness, he wasn't one of the ones that was shouting out. He was just sitting there. But the other ones melted the Christ out of me. But
But
yeah,
you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the gig overall. I was really happy with how that song went, and like there's a bit where like I shout out for people to shout back, and everybody did it, and I was just like,
Yeah.
thank fuck, it's actually, because I'd said to you before, this song is either gonna be, it's either gonna be class or it's gonna eat shit to the point where I'm gonna be like, you know, I need to take another 6 months off.
Yeah.
from this, you know, and but yeah, it was very enjoyable.
I thought it was a
Everybody
good
did
night.
well though. It was, that venue
night.
was class. The
The
yeah,
Boneyard,
the
because I
Boneyard,
didn't
yeah.
have a good one there last time, so I was really.
It's a bit
more
rowdy.
nervous
Like,
about this.
It felt a bit rowdy, but like
I just picked the wrong stuff to do
Mm.
last time. Like this time, I was trying material, but I was saying I normally go on with like a page on the ground because I'm trying new stuff and I need to, like musicians would do
Mm-hmm.
a set list, need to check it every once. Check it. I need to like look at it every once in a while.
yeah,
But now I've started having a notepad in my back pocket, and I only bring it out if I need it, and I don't try and hide that I'm doing it
Mm.
because people know you're trying new stuff. And I think without I think the page is like a safety net
yeah,
that I didn't need. And since I've not had that, I'm way like looser on stage.
yeah,
And I can go between like chatting to someone in the crowd and material quite a lot. And that is where I like to kind
Yeah.
of be. I really enjoyed it.
yeah. It was good. It was good. Everybody was good though. Look,
And it felt like really being back to it. Because like obviously gigs have been back, but when you're doing the tour, it's like, it's just you and one other or whatever, and you have traveled
yeah.
up
Plus
together.
they're all there to see you. It's your crowd. Yeah.
Exactly. But like, it's more of an unknown to do nights like that. And when everyone's sitting together, like backstage and stuff, that I was like, that felt class.
It was class when we were all sitting around
Yeah.
that in that wee booth. Like, you know.
Yeah. That would just be a good night by itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it wasn't even comedy. on.
Yeah.
But it was, it was a lot of fun. You got anything more booked in?
No, I don't think so. I will do stuff like, I mean, I'd said to Dave, said to Colin about it. Yeah, I will be doing stuff like. But
You want to just proper get back into it?
Aye. It like, I wouldn't do that song like every night. I don't think I would only do it in sort of bigger places.
Yeah,
you know, because
yeah.
I mean it's high energy. If I think if you try to do that, maybe even indoors in pugs, that would eat shit. You know what I mean? Because is it big enough? I don't know. I don't know.
Would you record that as a separate thing?
We can do because the beat is there
Yeah,
already
yeah, yeah.
and it's all recorded. And actually, the thing is that we recorded it the first half of it around like Christmas time, I think.
Yes.
But the beat was really annoying. Like it was too annoying. you
Right,
know,
right,
like
right.
really fucking irritating thing.
Yeah.
Like it actually, the whole thing started by me playing something on the guitar and going, "Listen to how fucking annoying this is," and playing it.
But don't like songs do that nowadays? Like they're almost like manufactured in a lab.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
like
Well, this year
Beats for pop songs and stuff.
you literally you just there's software there that you go, you pick the style of drums that you want, you pick the time signature, and then you can up or down the
Yeah.
the amount of like splashy play and stuff, or you can pick what drum kit you want it to be on. So like you could see if you have a bit of basic music like theory, you like really basic like time signatures.
Yeah.
Like
I just do all my stuff a cappella, but
Yeah.
I don't like it. I
Like,
think beats cheating.
if you beating cheating.
Yeah.
If you know that stuff with the stuff that's on the software,
Yeah.
like you could make stuff. You could make like music from like, the Caribbean or like the Middle East or like, just like
Normal?
like I know, nice and racial. Or basically what I was thinking was, this is when I said Caribbean and Middle East, what I was thinking? You can make music as far apart as like fucking Little Mermaid or like Aladdin.
That's
what I was
not
thinking.
made it better.
No.
Would you like it if next year Stendhal booked me and I just did like an a cappella singing set? Because I was like, you didn't
who
ask me
booked
for Stendhal Festival. They're like, oh, we'll book you. Come do a 30-minute set. And I just did music because I was like, you
Imagine-
didn't specify.
I would want to be in charge of your set list, and I would want you to open with an a cappella. Could you be the most beautiful girl? And I want you to do Prince's weird sign language.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Did you ever see that bit in that video when he
No.
goes like, "Could you be the most beautiful?" And he goes like, "The girl in the world." You're like, did he
What
just
was he
like,
putting
did
in?
He, did he just finger like a spirit woman?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what-
If anyone's gonna do it, it's
Yeah,
him, the wee
yeah.
freaky bastard.
Yes,
Like,
and he like he's
went out sucking his own dick. Didn't he?
he's had so much gay now that he's fingering ghosts. Like
Had his
you know
entire
what I mean?
rib cage removed. To just suck
That's,
his own
that's right.
dick.
You mentioned that earlier.
He did?
I remember that was one of those like an urban myth.
Someone else said it
Had
was
his
Frank
ribs
Mitchell
removed.
in my school.
What?
There was a rumor that it started off Marilyn Manson,
I
then
heard it
someone
was
said
Frank Carson. Came up from sucking his own dick and goes, "That's a cracker."
I'd be fair if it was Prince who said that in that accent. Shout out to those guys.
You just call his podcast Frank Carson sucking his own dick. Do you remember he was on everything in the 90s? And like my man, like he'd be on like Celebrity Squares or something. My man dad loved it when he was on just because he was from here. But
It's Prince from here.
wait, imagine Prince being on the British Celebrity Squares with like fucking Frank Carson.
Toby Anstis. I knew you'd like
Anthony
that.
Turner. Just fucking Toby Anston.
He just loves game shows.
If you were going to be on an old game show, what would you be on?
Town Challenge, 100%. Remember Town Challenge?
Was that
Fuck up another town so bad.
was that
Did
like
one here.
Was that like
Hugo Duncan used to host it.
oh fuck, I thought Annika Rice did it. What's the one I'm thinking of?
Challenge Annika. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I hated that. Orange used to challenge Annika, and it's like her fucking running around, taking a helicopter somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Off.
I think they had got a good deal on a helicopter, so decided to theme everything around it.
Yeah.
You know, something
mean,
like that.
Oh fuck! Do you know what I loved? Do you remember the kids show Finders Keepers, hosted by Art Attack host Neil Buchanan?
No.
And it was like the studio was like a 2-up, 2-down house,
Yeah.
and he'd stand in front of that, and then it was like hidden in the house. There would be like a clue, and then hidden somewhere in the house was like
Gear.
a prize. What gear? Yeah, just like there's a bag of coke in the toilets.
Neil
And,
Buchanan's Gear House.
yeah,
That'd be a great show.
and Finders Flushers. And
Is Neil
the
Buchanan
cops
still
are-
alive?
Yeah, sure. People thought he was Banksy a couple of months ago. People were saying he's from the same part of the country as Banksy. Is he Banksy? And Neil Buchanan's actual website had to come out and be like, no, he's not Banksy. Fuck up.
But that's what
You know
you
what I
would
mean?
say if he was Banksy.
That is what he would say.
Exclusive. We just
Yeah.
outed Neil Buchanan as
That is-
Banksy.
That is what he would say. Imagine. Do you remember when he would like take like a load of bin bags and go and make like a scare out on like
He's a fucking nerd, like.
aye, but class though.
Yeah. Begrudgingly, yeah, but at the same time, like going fucking meet people,
I
you
just,
know.
I learned.
He was married to art was his
We,
problem.
we watched loads of Art Attack during the lockdown. I mean, I haven't made anything, but like threw a few things of PVA over myself. Well, say PVA, but the
PVC
yeah, the
in the adult panto.
if I was gonna be on, yeah, finders keepers. So you used to have to fucking like you go in and like wreck. You could wreck this house looking for prizes. It was fucking class. I'd be on that.
Vaguely remember this.
I'd be on that, or it would be. I used to love Funhouse with Pat Sharp.
Yeah.
I used to love Family Fortunes. You don't care about any of this. What's your favorite game show?
Probably the best one would have been Crystal Maze. I like Crystal Maze. I wouldn't like to go on that because I don't like relying on other people.
I think I would
Don't
get
trust
stuck.
anyone.
I think I'd get stuck in that wee weird tunnel from Industrial Zone into the Aztec.
Would you get stuck or would you just chill in it?
I don't chill, mate. I got stuck in
That's
the
right.
toilet in here earlier, and I was fucking losing my mind. I
Yeah,
was in
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah.
I was in it.
Straight on a payphone.
Yeah, literally. I texted him going. I says, "Does Michael want coffee?" And he's like, "He's not here today." And
Is that what you say when you get stuck somewhere?
and I texted him back saying, "No worries, I'm stuck in the toilet." I noticed he
What did
didn't,
Dan
he
do
didn't
about it?
fucking come to help me. Did you notice that?
No. Yeah.
Fucker. But yeah, Family Fortunes for me. I fucking love that shit. And
brother.
when I get a top answer, I definitely do that. Like I'm Louis Arrows. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, brother. Well, look, we're gonna have to leave it there.
Is there no questions? I like questions. Don't have
No,
one.
no
makes me-
question for the
makes me
live one. My food order's ready, so
What
I
are you
gotta
getting?
go. I'm getting like a fry and a bap basically, but
Oh,
like
I see, that's
but like a classic
Can I just
version
say,
of it.
mate?
Yeah.
Like I had chicken and waffles on there today. I've never had it,
From Joxer. You like it?
mate. I think it's the best thing I've ever had in my life. It was fucking unreal.
You know what is the best thing you could ever have in your life? Signing the organ donation register. Better than chicken and waffles. I know you might not agree with me right now, but trust me, if you give 9 people the gift of life,
If I give somebody my kidney, can I get more chicken and waffles?
100%, 100%. I don't think anyone would begrudge that. You mean if you were given an organ and you were getting in touch with the person, like, do you want to speak to the person? You know, would you like to do that? That's the thing we offer. Would you say, listen, I'm more than happy to give you this, save your life, all that, but I will need chicken and waffles. If I was the person getting it, I'd say like, yeah, no problem.
I think it's a pretty good deal. I mean, to be honest, if I was giving you a fucking proper like a working kidney, you know what I mean? Like not like a Bartlett one. If I was giving you like a working kidney, you know, loop of Henley, islets of Langerhans, all intact. That's parts of the kidney. I remembered from my level biology days. I was fucking shit at biology. Anyway,
I got a double E in GCSE
If I-
science.
did you? Double E's like sound like a good time, but probably don't look great on CV.
No.
I got a double A, whatever. And not saying I'm better than you, but
No,
like,
I've got to go pick up a food order and you're just telling me your exam results from school.
2 A star, 7 A's and a B, smashed it. Only joking. I need to just say this: if I was giving you a full kidney, I think that's worth.
He needs to say
I
this.
need to say it. It's worth 2 chicken and waffles
Right.
at times of my choosing.
Right, yeah, fair.
So sorry. Yeah.
Fair. We had a bet in school. A couple of guys used to make bets, and the loser had to do 10 press ups at the winner's choosing. Any moment you could do it. And I remember a guy being in full shit with our maths teacher, Mr. Ashfield, and someone in the class was like, press up. And he had to make it look like he was tying his lace, but it's difficult to do when you have to do a press up. And it was the weird, like, teacher wouldn't even know him. He's like, the fuck's wrong with this guy? Because he's like half committing to like the press up and pretend to tie the lace.
What's the worst thing anybody ever said to a teacher in front of you? Like, were you literally nearly? Did you ever like somebody was being?
I
cheeky?
remember having a teacher who spoke like this, and I remember someone doing that exact impression to him, and he
Oh my
fucking
God.
cracked
I
up.
remember we had a shit maths teacher, and she used to she couldn't control the class, and she used to call in Mr. Hamilton from the next room. She literally just used to go,
yeah.
Mr. Hamilton, right? And Hammy would come in, right? And he was giving off the wee lad in my class, like fully slobbering at him right there. And the wee lad just goes, smell her breath. And I remember going, like, mate, even when I think about that now, like, I fucking, like, I'm tingling, like, you know, maybe, you know, stop moving all the time.
That's your restless
Restless legs.
legs.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/2Me podcast, bonus episode, live streams, all that. Dan, anything else got to mention? No.
Hold your mug for me. You're meant to drink out of all.
Hold your mug for me. This one? This is the Yes I Donate organ donation mug. And you know what's very sexy about it? They give us a bit of chalk and you can write whatever you want on it. And
I
I've
like
written
that.
Shane, but it looks like it says Shan with
That's
a number
good.
7.
Shanf, it looks like an F.
You can write whatever you want on that.
Yeah.
So there you go. And there's a Tea With Me mug. More news on that soon. Cheers to Kieran Bartlett. Shout out to Prince, Dungannon's finest. Respect, bro.